Hello, my name is Sofia Sirita and today I will be answering your questions. The first one was why did I decide to pursue a career in IT? My interest in IT started very early when I was a child and because of my father. In fact, he worked in IT, so I remember me sitting next to him while he was repairing computers, and I remember seeing him taking a computer part apart and somehow putting everything back together. For me, it seemed like some sort of magic. Then when I was around 9, I got my first laptop, and that was the moment when curiosity became something bigger because I didn't just want to use the technology anymore, I wanted to understand how everything works. And I also loved writing stories, and this creativity transformed into programming. I remember actually making my first small program to calculate intake of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates per person per day. And I remember that feeling like creating something real from scratch. That's why I think like this thing is what keeps me in IT even now. There is always something new to understand and create. How do I approach learning new technologies? My approach is really pretty simple: divide and conquer. Sometimes when I start learning something new, I feel overwhelmed because of amount to learn, so I break big problems into the smaller ones. Because one of my biggest mistakes before was trying to understand everything at once. For example, recently I worked with recommender systems, and at first it felt huge and confusing because there were many concepts connected together. So I found out that the best approach for me is to understand the theory behind the concept first and then practice it in a real world domain. Um, when I get stuck, I try to use every source to get more understanding, documentation, uh, AI tools, YouTube, even old but good ones, Stack Overflow, or I just simply take my time to go for a walk because I believe that understanding comes exactly when you stop forcing it and give your brain some time to proceed, digest information. What current innovations in IT am I interested in? Right now, I'm mostly interested in AI, data engineering, and analytics. AI interested me because it looked unreal. Like, how can systems recognize images, make predictions, or recommend these things? But while I was doing some machine learning projects, uni projects, I realized I became interested not only in models themselves, but in everything around them: where data comes from, how it is processed, stored, and what happens with it. What am I passionate about? I'm mostly passionate about creating and understanding. When I was younger, as I mentioned before, I loved writing stories, and this creativity transformed into programming and building projects. Also, I spent years doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I earned more than 40 medals. That's why sport taught me discipline, and also while I was moving from the country to country, changing educational systems, it taught me adaptability. So to sum up, I enjoy learning, building things, and challenging myself. What are the pros and cons of working in a team? I really like one quote: if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. Therefore, from my point of view, teamwork usually gives better results when communication works well. For me, teamwork mostly comes down to trust, communication, and being comfortable asking also the questions. And also from my experience working and studying in international teams, I learned that many problems happen not because people are just bad teammates, but because expectations were never communicated. And what do I expect from this internship? I expect to get practical experience, learn from experienced people, and understand how things work in real project. What specifically attracted me to this internship is that it combines several things that already interested me: AI, data engineering, and building systems behind the scenes. I like that Helmas focuses not only on the theory, but on real projects, mentorship, and learning by doing. At the same time, I think I can bring value too, because moving countries and adapting to different environments taught me how to learn quickly and adjust fast. And I want to thank you for your time and consideration. Have a nice day.